Afternoon, peeps. Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully, you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. Repeat or revenge? Revenge in a big way. Eubank Jr. dominating Liam Smith from the very first bell until the referee jumped in the 10th. That was as good as it gets. That was every single box ticked from Eubank Jr. He showed that he was a stronger man in there. At times, I thought the much better boxer in there, the bigger guy, better puncher, better combinations, went to the body, went to the head. The jab was fantastic. That was probably, considering the pressure going into the fight, that was probably the best Eubank Jr. performance I've ever seen. Honestly, probably was. It was a big stage, pay-per-view event, sold out AO Arena, and he delivered. He delivered against a guy that had previously knocked him out. He went back to basics. He went back to the Eubank that we know, a bit more aggressive. Obviously brought in Bomac, who we're going to talk about, and the influence he had. Because listening and watching the fight, all you could hear was Brian McIntyre scream out things, like consistently scream out, you're doing this, do this, do this. His voice was very, very well in the corner, and you felt like Chris was responding to that. But yeah, that was a solid performance from Chris Eubank. I said in the lead up to it, and I'm not going to go back on what I said, I thought Liam Smith was going to get the job done. But I always said Chris's mentality, like he goes into the ring, and so many boxers could learn from this. He goes into the ring and like, it's almost like the confidence isn't dented. Like regardless of who's beat him, the confidence is still there. And I don't know how he's got that. I don't know where that comes from, but it obviously serves him good going into these big fights. And he just looked a level above Liam Smith. And again, let's not forget, this is the guy that knocked him out the first fight. He looked a level above him. Liam Smith just didn't know what to do, kept shelling up. And every time he shelled up, Eubank Jr. just went to the body. And then Liam Smith would, obviously, if you've gone to the body, he would drop his hands and Eubank Jr. would fire in the uppercuts. It was perfect. Honestly, it was perfect. Eubank looked really good. The gas tank looked good as well. I thought both of them were starting to struggle a bit with the gas tank because the first 3 rounds were quite fast. But then Eubank Jr. seemed to find his second wind. Obviously, he got the knockdown in the 4th, hurt him again in the 5th. Really felt like he was going to get Liam Smith out of there and unleashed. And I was there thinking, okay, he's maybe unleashed a bit too much here. He's going to get tired. Nope, 6, 7, 8, 9, all Eubank Jr. Honestly, you could almost have it a shutout. You could have it a shutout until the referee jumped in. But yeah, that was a solid performance. Liam Smith said after the fight, didn't he, that maybe because of the injury, he blew up a bit too much and he had to cut too much weight. That's your fault. That's your fault. I'm surprised he even said that. Like, if you had to cut, I think he said something like 45 pounds or so. I can't remember, 3 and a bit stone. If you had to cut that much, why go that heavy? Why go that heavy? You know you've got a pay-per-view fight on the horizon and you've gone 3 stone above your natural weight class. That's your own fault. There was something that Andy Clark sort of noticed on comms about maybe Liam Smith rolling his ankle. I saw it. It did look like his back foot had a bit of a problem, but again, for me, thank you.
Special guest.
Special guest. Ack just came and provided me. I mean, come and say hello. Ack, come and say hello. This is his setup. Look at this. Look at this. And I get coffee as well. I'm going to move in. I get coffee. This is incredible. But no, look, I mean, we could always find excuses in a defeat, but ultimately, Eubank Jr. just looked so much better, didn't he? He looked so much better. And look, the influence of Bomac can't be underestimated. It just must feel good knowing that you are with maybe the trainer of the year, and that guy has Terence Crawford, and you're going to learn from that. And one thing about Chris is that Chris he's so arrogant, he almost needs to be with a trainer that he respects fully. If he doesn't respect you, then he's probably not going to listen to you. He respects Bomac fully. I know some people were upset that maybe he didn't give Bomac his plaudits after, but he gave them in the dressing room. I've got a good friend that's Eubank Jr.'s bodyguard / friend, and he told me that a lot of respect was shown to everyone in the camp in the dressing room after, so don't worry about the fact he didn't give him his flowers in the ring. What next for Eubank Jr.? What next for Liam Smith? Let's talk about what next for Eubank Jr. He called out 3 names. Called out Conor Benn. I spoke to Conor Benn after. We shared a couple of voice notes. He spoke to Kell, Brook. He spoke about Golovkin. Look, the big one there. And some people were like, why is he not calling out world champions? Well, because the world champions aren't very attractive in that division at the moment. It's just not. You just have to look at it. Jamal Charlo is doing nothing. He's not been stripped by the WBC. Alan Canali is fighting a unification fight against the Italian whose name skips me. It's just not an exciting division where there are money fights to be made. It's just that simple. 154, well, someone's undisputed. He's been stripped of one, but the guy at 154 is Jamel Charlo. So you do look around for the money fights. The money fights, and some people might not like it, are Conor Benn and Kell Brook. I know, don't get me wrong. I understand the problems. But Conor Benn, all of a sudden, that fight's become bigger. They were supposed to do that fight at the O2 Arena. Weirdly, considering all the bullshit that's happened, that fight now is maybe a stadium fight, which is nuts, but it is, right? I know for a fact that Conor Benn doesn't want a September fight anymore. He wants to go straight in a December fight with Chris Eubank Jr. I saw Eddie Hearn put out a little promo piece. They want that fight. They're going to be on the phone to Eubank. I'm not quite sure who Eubank's manager is. Probably manages himself, knowing Eubank. But they're going to be on the phone and they're going to try and make that fight. If you're Eubank, your confidence is through the roof. You don't have to cut down to that. What was the catch weight before? 155? 150? I can't remember. 156? 160. 160. I'm now the A side, 160. I'm coming off potentially a career best win. I will fight you tomorrow, and Eubank will know that this fight will do so good in pay-per-view, he's going to make millions. Like, to me, it's an easy option. It's Conor Benn. If not, he said Kell Brook as well. Kell Brook's been out the ring since the Amir Khan fight. He's retired. He's retired. I don't want to see it versus Kell Brook. Kell Brook's a bigger 147 than Conor Benn, so physically it won't be as bad, but I don't want to see that fight. I don't think you want to see that fight either. And then he mentioned Golovkin, who has been vacating his belts. I think Golovkin's vacated all his belts now. Golovkin's retired, as far as I'm concerned. So look, for me, there's only one option, and that one option is Conor Benn. You'd have to favour Eubank now to beat Conor Benn. Bear in mind, Conor Benn hasn't fought since, is it Van Heerden? If it's Van Heerden, that must be about 18 months ago. I'm going to say about 8. That's ridiculous. No, 16 months ago maybe. It's too long. It's too long. So as I sip on the coffee and think about what to say next, I will say this. Fantastic performance from Eubank. Considering the pressure, it was incredible. Career best performance for me as well. Career best win. He used all the attributes that we've always known he kind of has. Which is a good jab, because I don't know if you've noticed, Chris Eubank's got really long arms, so he's got a good jab. He's got the engine. He's got some pop on the punches. And if he can put all the... Look, he's not the best boxer in terms of ability, I don't think, but if he can put just those three things together, he causes people problems. And again, it looked like there were two different levels in there. There was a Liam Smith level, which has always been solid, but then there's Eubank, where he just looks so much better than Liam. So much bigger than Liam. I'd love to know what he rehydrates to. But ultimately, look, Eubank gets the win. I think it will be Conor Benn next. I understand how people will have a problem with that. But this is boxing. Money is there to be made. And trust me when I say everyone is going to want to make their money. All right, boys, girls, I fly back tomorrow. We'll get some videos done. We'll talk about the 50,000 subscriber thing I'm going to do. And we shall see each other very, very soon. Peace and love.